Do you remember someone who has died all too soon? Sometimes it comes as a result of an accident. Sometimes people are taken from us by sickness and disease. For the Schramm family, their 31-year-old son Nathan became another tragic statistic of the greatest cause of death of his generation.
We really didn't have any ideas that Nathan wasn't well. Nathan lived in Mackay for probably the last 3 years with his wife and 2 little kids. The first sign that we got was a phone call. He just rang me this one day and said, "Mum, I'm coming home, my marriage is over."
Nathan got married the year that Janine and I met. As a person, Nathan, soulful, very compassionate, very caring. Yeah. He loved life. When he came from Mackay, was very distraught. I think for him it was something that was, he had not dealt with this before, sort of seeing his relationship, sort of with his wife breaking up. But more importantly for him, he felt like he was losing his kids.
We had bought him a car a couple of days prior because he came down from Mackay without a car or any form of transport whatsoever. He stayed with us for close on 3 weeks, and because he'd been around family all this time, he just sort of said to me, "Mum, I need to get away. I need to have some time to myself." And I think if I look back now, I just knew, and I just was powerless to do anything about it. He took the car, and I can remember him walking down those front steps here and opening up those gates for him, and it was the last time I ever saw him. We went down to Kiama, and basically it was like CSI when we got there. It was just unbelievable. We had water police, there was police rescue. It was an amazing scene, and anyway, we're there and still no sign of Nathan's body, and then at 1 o'clock they found him. Up on the top of the cliff was a bag with all letters, suicide notes to all the family members. His letter to me stated, "Mum, this is not your fault. I'd planned this a long time ago."
We invest millions to curb the road toll. We invest millions in advertising to encourage people to protect themselves from the ravages of the Australian sun. But how do you prevent suicide? At Wesley Mission, suicide prevention strategies began in the 1960s with the development of Lifeline after a desperate call for help. Since 1995, our operations have moved into a new era with Wesley LifeForce through suicide prevention training nationwide.
I don't know where I'd be today if it wasn't for Wesley LifeForce. It was only a couple of weeks after Nathan's death that I read an article in the local newspaper about a young funeral director, Janine Beatson, and she was just alarmed at the amount of suicide deaths that were coming through her doors. And she put together an suicide awareness forum in Penrith, and Vern and I, my husband and I, went along to that first night. And that's where it all started. Wesley Mission was there. I think it was probably within a few months we had a network put together. I'm now very proud to be part of a network that is doing some absolutely amazing stuff as far as suicide prevention goes. Our focus this year, we're looking at schools. It's all about mental health and all sorts of issues that young teenagers might be going through, how they'd react to that circumstance.
Today, Wesley LifeForce oversees 27 community suicide prevention networks throughout our capital cities and rural and regional Australia.
We'd like to think that we're saving hundreds to thousands of lives. Burton Janine is one story of a network affecting individuals. There's hundreds of those stories across all the networks in Australia, and we're establishing up to 57 networks by June 2015. I don't think what we're doing needs to change. I think it'd just be great to be able to do it in every community that asks for it.
While you may not be able to work directly in suicide prevention, you can save a life by partnering with us. Your financial support and spreading the word about our work under Wesley LifeForce will help to prevent the loss of more lives to the unnecessary tragedy of suicide.
One saved life is wonderful, and that makes all the difference. We are all sometimes just specks of sands on the beach, but together we make a difference. And it will take a lot of specks to build up that beach. We need to have individuals involved, and the more individuals involved, the more our efforts will grow. Every life is worth saving.